Howdy everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome to the Van Halen Appreciation Society. Again, look, I do like doing Van Halen stuff, which is why I have so many Van Halen guitars and Van Halen inspired guitars, Van Halen pedals, and even my TONEX pedal has been Van Halenized. Yes. So today we are going to be talking about TONEX and the secret that it carries with the 8081 and the 8284 Brown Sound Packs, which were released not too long ago. If you'd like to grab those packs, there are links in the description box below and the first comment. Go and grab them. They are absolutely insanely cool. And they hold an awesome secret which will get your guitars sounding like they are in a real recording studio. So let's head over to my Mac and Logic and let me show you the secret that this thing holds. You have gotta love that sound and you gotta love that song. I love Panama. It's the track that I play all the time when I do any Van Halen stuff or pick up any Van Halen guitar. That's the first one. It's one of my favorite Van Halen songs. Anyways, let's go over to Logic and let me show you what created this sound, because it does sound kind of special, doesn't it? All right, let's have a look. So over here in Logic, you can see that I have a rhythm guitar 1 track and a rhythm guitar 1 track room. This is the special sauce. This is the secret of the 8081 and the 8284 Brown Sound Packs. As well as having the direct mic captures, they also have room captures. Now, this is a really big deal for somebody who's worked in a studio, who has a studio and has recorded room mics. It adds so much depth and character to your guitar sound. It cannot be underestimated, and I'm going to show you how I stacked these two guitar parts to create the rhythm part and how it actually changes when you take out the room. So in this first track I have TONEX loaded up, and you'll see that I'm using Does It Rhyme 89 volts. This is from the Brown Sound 8081 pack, and this is the direct mic sound. Sounds really awesome just by itself. So if I play it, I've got some reverb and delay and stuff, just a tiny bit, and I'll show you the sound with and without. So here's the direct sound. Really lovely sound there. Now, if I take my delay, reverb, etc. off, you can hear what just the capture sounds like. Really nice punchy sound. That's how a direct mic sounds. When you actually put a microphone very close to the speaker, you get that real punch, and that's what it's supposed to do. But when you add a room sound in, it changes the character. So let's check out the room sound now. So on this track here, I have TONEX loaded up again, but this time I actually have Does It Rhyme 89 volt room sound. Yeah. This is going to sound different. You'll notice here as well on the fader, it is really low in the mix. It's only a tiny bit, but I'm going to boost this for the time being so that you can really hear what this does. So here's the room sound now. This is going to be very different from the direct sound. Check this out. Much more mid-heavy. It has this kind of soupy, gloopy, really awesome sound which fills out a specific space. It's not the Van Halen 1 sound, it's not the Van Halen 2 sound, it's not the Women and Children First sound by itself, but it is in the mix. So this is something you have to take into account when you are dialing in a sound for a guitar. Can you add a room sound? And Luckily, we've got the room captures here. So it's the specific room where Jim Gorsted, when he did the captures, he captured the room that he was in. So the mic is a little ways away from the guitar cab, maybe a few feet away, and it's a different type of microphone. Picks up a different sound. Now, when you add both of those things together, they create an overall guitar sound. So let's check out the individual tracks first on this track, which I'd recorded for the video that I did on the TONEX packs, and then we'll add them together and you can see how the sound changes. So here's rhythm guitar number 1 just by itself. I'll solo it up. There's that fire-breathing Marshall, Eddie's fire-breathing Marshall, well, Jim's fire-breathing Marshall. Sounds awesome. I love that sound just by itself because it's so direct, it's punchy, it's got that kind of thing going on because it sounds like a Marshall which is just about to blow the hell up, which is bliss. All right, but if we go to this one here, which is the room sound, check out how this sounds now. Very different tonal signature there, right? So when you add them together, I've got them both dialed up to the same level at the moment. You'll hear more of the profound effect of the room on the overall guitar sound. Then I'll turn it down to where I think the sweet spot was for me. And then you can listen to how it adds a little bit. And I'll take the room sound in and out so that you guys can hear what it actually is doing. There you go. Adds a real magic to the overall guitar sound. I love how that room affects the guitar sound. Adds that mid-range. And I find that this isn't something you can just dial in. There's a specific something that's going on, which is actually the sound of the room. And it's really hard to capture that by just EQing something. There is a way to do it though, which I will show you with another plugin that I have in just a second. But I love playing with this. I love adding that room sound because it adds depth to the guitars. Now it's up to you how much or how little you add to it. As you saw in my mix, when I was doing it, it was at about minus 15.4 or something like that, which is just a tiny bit of room sound, but it did make a difference. When I did the solo and took it off solo, you could hear that when you take away the room sound, some of that kind of like, you know, the fatness of the guitars is lost. And that's exactly what the room does. So a really cool little thing that you can do. And the great thing about TONEX is that all of these captures have been phase matched, which means they will work together. And I've actually mixed and matched different room sounds from the packs with different direct sounds. So I might pick the Does It Rhyme 89 volt for the direct sound, but then I might go over to, let's say, the Give Me a Slice 73 volt room sound and add that in. It will still work together, which is pretty awesome. And I did do that on some of the tracks which I recorded for the full video. Hey, if you're digging these tones and you're digging this video, then make sure that you smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification as well. It helps my channel grow and it tells me that you guys want more videos like this, which I really enjoy doing and sharing with all of you guys. Thank you so much. let's get back to the video. Alrighty, so I said a little while ago that there was a way to emulate this. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. So over here in Logic, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this track first of all. And I'm going to duplicate it with the WAV form there so that I've got basically just exactly the same thing on guitar number 1 and guitar number 1, which we're going to rename Room 2. There you go. Alrighty, so on this one, it's exactly the same sound as this one. So I'm just going to solo this up for a second, but I'm going to add another plugin here. So I'm going to go over to my IK Multimedia, and they have a very, very cool plugin, which is the Fame Studio Reverb. Now, this is an emulation of a room, and that's why I'm using this rather than a regular reverb, because it emulates what the room is actually doing. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with the settings and see what sounds good. I'm just put this on loop. I'm going to play it and I'm going to see which setting I like the sound of. I'm looking for that mid-range again, right? So let's have a check. So let's check out what this is going to do. I actually like all of them. What am I going to do? Damn it. Didn't expect that. This is a great plugin which IK do. I really enjoy it. I actually put this on the drums to give them more of a live feel, and it did such an awesome job of it. But you know what? I think I like this setting, the first one, and also the piano setting was really cool. So I'm going to play around with both of those in the mix. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave this a little bit lower than the actual direct signal, and then I'm going to play around with these two settings. I'll start off by putting the fader at 0, and then I will actually start off on the drums here, the drum room, and then I'll bring the fader up to see what it does, and then I'll switch over to the piano room and see what the sound difference is like. So let's check this out. All of them sound a little bit different. They add something just slightly different to the overall feel of the guitars. I really like this piano setting. I think I'm going to stick with that, and I'll just lower it to maybe about -11 dB. And that will give me just that thickening that I want off the guitars. Let's check it out in the mix. There you go. I like it at that -15 dB range. It just balances out nicely and it adds that room thing that I was going for. So there you go, guys and girls. That's how you add a little bit of studio magic in your DAW to your guitar sounds. Add those room sounds in, experiment with them, just add different ones in and see what it does to the sound. Experiment with the levels and the balance between the two as well. Maybe you want to make it sound like you're in an arena somewhere. Put some crowd sound behind it and just use the room sound. It'll sound pretty awesome, right? Sound like you're playing in an arena and somebody's actually filming it with a cell phone or something. How cool is that? Now I'm just putting ideas in your head. All right, guys and girls, hope you enjoyed that. So there you go, guys and girls. This is pretty awesome. Whether you're playing through the pedal or the software like I was doing through my audio interface, TONEX really has upped its game in terms of how it feels and how it sounds. In a mix, it just sounds absolutely amazing. Having access to those room sounds as well as the direct mics, man, that's a game changer, because then you can really dial in the sound like you're in a proper recording studio. I used to do this years ago when this room actually used to be 2 rooms, and where I'm standing now, back there, it was a booth where I used to mic up my guitar cabs, and sometimes I used to set up a room mic, and it added so much, that mid-range which you find hard to actually dial in with just an EQ. That's all the room sound. There's something special about it. It's kind of thick and soupy and goopy and just lovely. It's really tasty and adds so much to the overall guitar sound. Hope you enjoyed that. I would love to know what you thought of the sounds of the rooms and the direct mics in this pack. And if you haven't grabbed the packs already, the links are in the description box below and the first comment as well. So go and get them, because they truly are really cool to play. Alrighty folks, if you enjoyed this one, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, hype the video, comment, and also share with your TONEX, Van Halen, and generally guitar loving buddies. Yeah, let's all play some more guitar. We all need to play more guitar, don't we? I think so anyways. Hokey dokey, it's time for some music for you guys. This one is a little bit Van Halen inspired, and I did this when I did the full video of the 80, 81 and the 82, 84 packs. Also check out the 78, 79 pack. That is mind-blowingly good as well. Have a great day, be good to one another, pick up your guitars and make some guitar noises, because that is so much fun, and hey, it spreads some cool vibes into the universe, right? Have a great day. I'll see you soon with another one. See you later.